Good morning, welcome back to my channel. I'm Melissa if you're new here, and I have a big Monstera jungle mint behind me. It's actually been chilling out here for a few days because I have been, painting my plant room and redoing it. I can't wait to share more about that. I'll actually give you a little sneak peek. That's all you get. It's a bit of a mess. I'm like 70% done with my plant room, so I'm hoping to finish it later this week, and then I'll do a room tour and give you an update and share all of that. But yeah, Monstera Mint has, I would say, mostly reverted. It's still spitting out a little bit of variegation, but it's time to chop him. I've been growing this plant since I think sometime in the fall of 2024 is when I got the plant, as I think it had like 3 or 4 leaves and beautiful variegation. I still have most of those leaves towards the very bottom of the plant. I got a lot of beautiful growth since, I got the plant. It was doing a lot of half moons, and I noticed it would do like every other leaf variegation, and then it started to slowly spit less and less variegation. And yeah, it's time to chop. This plant has gotten really huge, and I love Monstera, but yeah, it's time to restart this plant and hopefully promote some of those minty tones that I love. And I also want to try and repot the base and refresh it. It's in a tiny pot still up pond, and I don't even know if I can get the plant out of there. It's been in here. I upsized it once. Yeah, I repotted it once and it's been in that pot ever since. So I'm going to attempt to repot it, and I might do a root trim just because I'm chopping so much of the plant away. So we'll see how it goes today, but the plan is to chop it back to promote variegation and kind of refreshen it. And whatever cuttings I'll get, I'll set up and grow out. I just don't know what to do with the top cut, because it would be this big leaf over here, this big leaf here. These are huge leaves. And then the new one, maybe I'll just put it in a vase of water for now. Maybe I can just let it grow outside. But normally when I chop a plant, I take the top cut and restart it. But because this is reverted, I'm basically not needing the top cut, if that makes sense. So yeah, that is the plan for today's video. I think what I'll do first is go ahead and do the chopping with you, and then we'll get set up to repot, and yeah, we'll get her put back into my plant room somewhere. I do have somewhat of a spot that I want to put her, but because I rearranged and stuff in there, I'm trying not to overcrowd my plant room, but I have so many plants that I have downsized quite a bit actually. I did some chopping in the past few days. I said goodbye to some plants. I chopped another Monstera. The leaves on the bottom aren't as big, so I'll be able to fit her back in there somewhere. I do have the full mint in my plant room that I may chop back. I'm gonna give it a little bit of growing time this summer, and then I think I'll do a chop on that one. I'm not gonna let that one get as overgrown as this one. So yeah, let me go ahead and get this turned around, and we'll figure out where to chop on her first and get that started. So this is the back of her. She's definitely leaning off the pole. Oh, so I chopped her aerial roots. I made a reel. So if you saw that, that's what Monstera this is. She was glued, anchored onto the plant room wall, the drywall. And I had already freed her once, and she like shot back on again in no time. But she was kind of right up against the wall, and all of her aerial roots were like stuck onto the drywall. And I knew I was chopping her, so I was just waiting for the perfect time to do that. And then I knew I wanted to paint my plant room, so I'm like, I kept putting things off, and I'm like, I'll get to it eventually. But she's really top heavy now, so she's a little bit leaning. I just have one small stake in here supporting this cocoa core pole, but if I were letting her grow, I would definitely like reposition this so it's not leaning so much. So as you can see, the top part of the stem is pretty much reverted. There's like one little mark of variegation. And so the stem going all the way down has the most variegation towards the bottom. And after looking at it a little bit more closely, I'm wondering if I should just chop her all the way and take as many cuttings as I can to see which cutting produces the best variegation. Because I'm looking for the axillary bud, you know, the little growth point, and seeing which one would potentially come out like on the variegated side versus the green side. This one here looks good, so I would like be chopping it all the way back like right here because the growth point's on the variegated side. But I don't know. I don't know if that's going, if I should cut it back further, you know, where most of the variegation is down here. But I would say here, the variegation kind of stops like after this one right here. But the axillary bud for this one is on the other side where it's mostly green. This one has a little bit of variegation. This one's on a green side. So I feel like this one is my best bet. I have to clean my utensils. I have shears and an X-Acto knife. I'm just going to let these get wet with alcohol. Just making a mess on the floor because I already know I'm going to make a mess. Should we go ahead and cut from the top down? Let's do it. Let's take her top cutting first and work our way down to the bottom. All right, so we are going to do a 3-leaf top cut. All right, I brought you in a little bit closer. So yeah, right here is where we're cutting. I could cut here and do just the big leaf and the new one, and then do like a big mid cut with this top guy, but again, this node is pretty much green, so I'm gonna go ahead and just do a 3-leaf here. Here we go. Whoa, timber. That's what it feels like. Here's the top cutting. Whoa. Look how thick that is. That's crazy. So pretty. Yeah, I'll probably stick this in a thing of water. Maybe I'll just let it grow outside for the time being. Beautiful. These leaves are massive. I'm gonna have to measure to see how big they are. Crazy. Moving on. I have all this string here from when I tied the petioles to bring them closer together so the wingspan wasn't so, you know, wide. But we shall free them now. And here we go, some more mid-cuts. Whoa, mid-cutting. That's crazy. There's the growth point. It's pretty much on the green. There's that one. It has a little variegation. And the growth point is right there. Right there. I need like a tub so I can propagate all these. There's that one. It's getting smaller. That one's mostly green too. Okay, she's getting smaller. Okay, now we're starting to get into where most of the variegation is. Timber. This one's kind of long. Whoa. That one. Ooh, this one might be a good one. Yes, this is one of the half moons. Oh, the root is stuck in there. Oh yes, look at that. Look at that root, that's so funny. Half moon leaf, beautiful. And well, the axillary bud is like half on the variegation. So this could go either way. I could use my, there we go. And this one's on the inside, right there. Ooh, another half moon leaf. And this one is right there. Oh, this is where I was going to stop. Was it? Oh no, I was going to do one more. This leaf doesn't have a lot of variegation. The eye is on a lower variegation side. Now all the leaves are pointed down like that. These are some of the original ones that grew in, and you can see the color on some of these are so pretty. But I don't really want this in my plant room like this. I'm thinking about starting it over as from a cutting and not worrying about repotting it. Yeah, I think I'm going to start over from a cutting, seeing which one grows in the best. Oh. Let's see. I just cut into that axillary bud. Oh, Melissa! Well, hopefully it'll still grow. Whoops. I need to be more careful. Where is the eyeball? There it goes. It's a little bit more tight. Oh yeah, I don't have a lot of stem on that at all. I might actually save this and save some of the roots and whatever regrows out of here. I think I'll do that. Chop that leaf. I will save this as the bottom. And I'll go to, I'm going to do a root trim, but what I'll do is dump this out with you and take a look at the root system and everything. And then I'll keep these last two leaves because I think these are the prettiest, or two of the prettiest leaves, these two. And we'll put these with our cuttings. Okay, here's the bottom. And yeah, we're gonna go ahead and dump her out and just try and salvage some roots so I can repot her. I just watered the other day, so this might be kind of full, yeah. Shoot. Let me borrow this towel because I'm gonna make a mess. Ugh. I'm gonna set this on the floor. Dump some of this. This might be just all roots. Like, how am I going to do this? Oh yeah, I don't know if this is budging. Let's see, I got a little bit here, here. Okay, this is all roots. Some of this is rotted. I do have some rot. So I'll have to clean this. That's crazy. That's like the base of the plant right here. Like that little chunk piece. All right, so I'm gonna set this down because I'll do that at some point. I may just get a clean pot because I don't know if I feel like messing with that. I actually have a whole bin of pots that I was cleaning yesterday. I cleaned that bathroom because I had so much stuff like piling in there from all of my repots and chopping plants the last couple of days. I had so much stuff, so I'm like, I need to clean. So I might just grab one of those. Yeah, I'm gonna let this root system soak in some hydrogen peroxide. Well, this looks like wet rot, but the plant, the main thing was drying out so much that I think I was just having major watering inconsistencies every week. Okay, I'm back. That took way longer than expected. It's been like 30 minutes. While this was soaking, the root system was terrible. It still looks bad, you guys, but I'm going to just stick it in pond and repot it. I don't have the best of luck like propagating in pond because I feel like cuttings and stuff that I try tend to rot. So I'm gonna pot it up. If it goes downhill, then I'll take it out and stick it in water and let it grow in some healthy water roots and then pot it up. But we'll do this for now and give it another go. And I was out in the garage and I made some chunky pond. I feel like that's the issue I'm having is the pond feels a little too dense, like too small. So I've been meaning to make some chunky pond, and so I'm gonna try it out for the first time and see how it goes. I just like mixed it, but I didn't rinse it. I just sifted it through my large sifter that I have. So it's probably still like dusty, so I'm gonna rinse it through a little bit over a container and then like dump that outside. But I wanted to go ahead and mix it so that way I have it and then I can start using it to repot some plants that I feel like would do better in a chunkier pond for more airflow. So yeah, we'll give this a go. I just bought all the ingredients on Amazon. I have lava rock, pumice, and zeolite, but they're much larger pieces than, you know, my DIY. This is technically a DIY, but you know, it's chunkier. So this is all that I could make with what I bought. I think I bought like smaller bags just to test it out. So it should last me a good bit. I know I want to do some anthurium in chunky pond, so I'm glad that I made it really quick. And I'm gonna use a smaller self-watering because yeah, I want to clean that first and it's going to take me a bit to get those nasty roots out of there. So I'll do that later. And so this one, I feel like this will be good to start it in. It'll be able to stay in here for a bit. So yeah, we'll get this potted up and then we'll go through the cuttings. I'll probably keep like 2 cuttings to grow with this one and see what comes in. And then of course I'm going to grow the other ones out and see what kind of growth comes in before I decide to list any that I don't want. So yeah, it'll be some time before they're ready because it just takes them a while to root and grow in new growth from like a mid cutting. I'm excited to use this. I'm going to put some down in here. I was trying to get a feel for how heavy it feels. It does feel like pretty heavy, but I feel like it'll be good for Monstera, so it's more oxygenated, you know. I think I've been letting some of my ponds sit way too wet and not letting them dry down enough. So I'm gonna try leaving some of my pond a bit more on the drier side. All right, so I'm gonna stick this in. Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna sit this thing down here on the chair. Ooh, it's so heavy. And then this is the back. So since she's kind of like leaning down like that, I'm just gonna plant her in like this. Like that. And I'll probably get some stakes just to anchor those up a little bit so that they're not down. I'll do that here too. And yeah, the auxiliary bud is right here on this one. So maybe I'll get two that activate. That's happened several times. And so I'll have 2 vines instead of 1. So we'll have to see. I'm not gonna add any support or anything in here just yet, like the cocoa core pole, until it starts like regrowing, and then I'll add it in real quick. But should I go ahead and add it? Maybe I should. That way it's in here. Yeah, I'm just gonna add the one that was in the bottom. That way I don't have to do it later, and I can just plant it in here. I should have waited and added the pond, because it like, you know, it falls into one of the holes. Okay, let's try this again. This happened before when I was potting a plant. Okay. Add this in one of the little divots. That one back there. Then we'll add some pond. Yeah, this is super dusty. There was a ton of dust coming off when I was sifting it. I'll have to rinse this through several times. Let's hope you grow in some new healthy roots. Okay. Kind of like that. Oh, I'm excited for the restart. I made a new goal for myself this year to not let plants get so overgrown where it ends up in this situation. Oh, I really like the pond. I like how coarse it is. I hear you, Loon. Get my little tiny scissors. You guys, I'm really weird. Like, sometimes like the slightest little things annoy me. And if I have like any weird edges, I'll snip them. That one has a brown spot. That one, crispy edges. Okay. And to lift these up, these petioles, just so they're not flopped over, I'm gonna get 2 of my green stakes, and I'll be right back. That, lift that up. Oh, I like this. Perfect. Oh, it's so cute. Let's hope it roots. Fingers crossed. it does okay. All right, so I'm gonna rinse this through really good, and then I'm not really gonna leave a reservoir because I want this plant to breathe so it can encourage rooting. As long as the pond is like somewhat moist, I'll just water through maybe every couple of days, just with some water. I don't need nutrients or anything yet. I'm so excited for the restart. It's crazy that huge plant is now this. It's crazy. Yeah, you can see how dusty, and I had already sifted it. Okay, I'm gonna rinse this through here and I'll dump this outside. Oh, I like the colors when it's wet. Oh yeah, that lava rock is super dusty. I actually might boil it to clean it. I have to boil. I have like another huge bin out in the garage of like old pond that I've been dumping from all the chops and repots I've been doing, especially the last few days. So I'll have to boil like a lot more pond here soon. Yeah, that's nasty. Look at all that dirty water. Okay, no reservoir. I will dump that outside. Look how good that looks. I'm gonna give her leaves a little rinse off. I'll talk about my plant room, you know, for the update or for the room tour thing. But I left some of my big plants in there because there just wasn't enough room out here to leave the plants for several days, especially with the cats. I didn't want them getting into anything. So I was like, when I went around to do the primer first, I like shuffled all the plants to one side of the room. I left my Mills boat in there and that big shelf and my big Monstera, my Micklitziana. I left Jungle Mint in there for a few days and then eventually Jungle Mint came out. But every time I went around the walls, I had to keep like shuffling plants around. So some of them got really dusty because I was sanding the walls too before I primed it. It was like coated in dust. I'm so excited for her restart. The axillary bud is on the other side against the pole. So hopefully she roots and I get some new growth activation. If whatever comes out of here does well and she roots up fine and I get some beautiful growth, then I don't think I'll keep any other cuts, but let's go ahead and take a look and see which ones we want to try and keep. I think I'm going to limit myself to 2 for now, and then the rest I'm going to put in a big bin to water prop. I'm going to let them callus probably like another couple of hours because some of the vines are pretty thick and I don't know where I'm going to put them. I might just leave them on this table because my shop room is off limits right now. I have so much to pot up and everything. I cut this other Monstera yesterday. I have all these cuttings in here. I have so much. So I'm gonna probably leave these on the table over here as well. It's gonna be filled with Monstera for the time being. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm gonna put her in my plant room. And yeah, let's take a look at the cuttings. I'll have to decide which one to keep. I'm gonna let this one go. I wanna keep one of these half moons because it's my favorite. Do I keep this one? I might keep this one. I'm trying to look to see where the axillary bud is on these. It's not quite on the white, but it still may produce some beautiful variegation. I love half moons. She has so many Because like I said, she was doing that half moon pattern. Ooh, this one could do some half moon. This one was one of my favorite leaf. This was the leaf that came out that was new when I unboxed it, this one here. This one I accidentally cut into the axillary bud a little bit. It's still there, it may grow, but I kind of cut into it a little bit. Yikes. This is kind of a sentimental leaf though. I might keep this one. I'm gonna hold on to these two for the time being. Ooh, this part's in a pretty good variegated spot. Right there. This one might produce something, but it's a big leaf. I'm gonna let it go for right now. That's gonna go in the big bin. Oh, this is a big chunk. Oh, this one could do well too. That one. These two leaves aren't huge, so I think I'm gonna keep these. The rest of these are too big. Like the leaves start getting bigger and bigger. Yeah. All right, so I'm gonna put these in a vase of water. These will go in my plant room as well. And look at all these. This is craziness. Hold on, let me gather them all. Insane. Like, I'm still not done. Like, what the heck? Like, what the heck? Look at all this. A huge bouquet of Monstera leaves. That's insane. That is insane. Honestly, what I should do is remove the leaves and node prop these to save space, but I'm not going to. I have better success with propagating Monstera with a leaf on versus just a node. So I'd rather leave the leaves on temporarily. If the leaves are pretty, I'll leave them on. But if they're kind of ugly, then I'll get rid of the original leaf. Depends on how much like mechanical damage they get, because sometimes over time they get kind of damaged. That's insane. Like, look at this. One of the smaller leaves, hold on. Like, look, the smaller leaf towards the bottom of the plant versus one of the newer ones. Like, look how crazy. It's so cute seeing the difference, right? It's so cute. Yeah, I need to find a tote bin. I think I have some extra tote bins out in the garage, one of those like plastic tote bins. I'm gonna use one of those and stick all the cuttings in there because I don't have any more vases, a vase at the moment. Everything's in use. I have one in my plant room that I'm gonna use for these two top cuttings or mid cuttings. You guys are getting a little bit of a peek in here in the color. I absolutely love it. I'm in love with this room and how it turned out. I have Marble Queen right here, but I have a vase and then I have an extra, let me back you up a little bit more. There we go, that's better. So for the two cuttings, I'm gonna put these in this vase, 1 and 2. Okay, like so. So cute. And then the plant we're gonna put just right here in front for the time being. Like so. And let's fill, I'm gonna go ahead and fill this with water. I feel like they've calloused for like an hour. There, we'll let those root up. Oh my goodness, I am in love. It makes me love this jungle mint over again. You know, because it started reverting on me and I was kind of sad about that, but she looks so good. I'm excited to restart her. Beautiful. Thank you so much for tuning in today and watching me chop jungle mint. I'm really excited to restart him, like I said, and hopefully the mintiness continues and I get some you know, beautiful growth in the future. And I'm excited for all these cuttings to see what happens with all those, what grows out of there. I'll take care of those here in a bit and after I find a bin. And I'm gonna get this pond mess cleaned up. But I appreciate you guys. I can't wait to update you on the room as well. Hopefully soon. I'm gonna work in there a bit later this afternoon and try and get some more stuff finished in there. I appreciate you for being here. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you have a good rest of your day, and I will talk to you here soon.